All right, let's jump right in. We're going to break down a brand new ranking of the top AI data analytics tools for 2025. You know, if you've ever felt like your business is just drowning in data, but you can't seem to find any real answers, then this one is definitely for you. We're going to cut right through all the hype and figure out which of these tools actually gets the job done.
This quote, it just hits home, doesn't it? It perfectly nails this huge modern business problem. You've got all this stuff, customer feedback, sales figures, endless support tickets. It's like a mountain of information that's just sitting there. The real question is, how do you turn all that raw data into something you can actually use to make a difference? It's a feeling so many of us know, especially if you work in customer support. I mean, that's where some of the most valuable insights are, but they're buried in literally thousands of separate conversations. It feels like you're swimming in this giant ocean of data, and every single time you reach out to grab a clear answer, it just slips right through your fingers.
But that right there is the exact problem that this new wave of AI analytics tools is supposed to solve. They're promising to be a lifeline, right? They're designed to do all that heavy lifting for you, to spot the patterns and find the insights that are hiding in all that mess.
So what even is AI for data analytics? Well, think of it this way. It's all about putting insight on autopilot. You don't need a PhD in data science anymore. Because of tech like natural language processing, or NLP, you can now ask questions in just plain English. Things like, hey, what was our #1 customer complaint last month? And boom, you get an answer instantly.
So to figure out which tool is actually the best, the review we're looking at used a really smart framework. It's all about real-world value, and they judged every single platform on 4 key things. First up, actionability. Does it just show you a pretty chart, or does it actually help you do something about the problem? Second, ease of use. And this is a big one. They focused on self-serve tools you can get up and running with in minutes. Third, integration. How well does it plug into the software you already use every day? And last but not least, specialization. Is it trying to be everything to everyone, or is it purpose-built to solve one specific problem and solve it really, really well?
And this slide, wow, it just brilliantly sums up the most important point of all, actionability. See, a good tool can tell you what's happening. It'll show you the problem. But a great tool helps you actually do something about it. And that, right there, is the massive difference between a simple insight and a real outcome.
Okay, so with that framework in mind, let's get to the main event, the showdown. We've got 7 of the biggest tools on the market, all put to the test. Let's see how they stack up against each other.
What's really interesting here is just how different these tools are. You've got everything from something super easy and accessible like ChatGPT, all the way to these powerful platforms like K9 that have a really steep learning curve. But those key things we talked about, ease of use and specialization, that's what really starts to separate them. Just notice the tool at the top there, Easel AI. See how it says very easy and has that sharp focus on customer service? Let's dig into why that matters so much.
And that, of course, brings us to the winner. After putting all 7 of these platforms through the ringer, testing them against those 4 key criteria, one tool just clearly pulled away from the pack. It is the champion of actionable AI. Yep, the #1 ranks tool is Easel AI. And the reason is actually pretty simple. It was the only tool they tested that really closes the loop between finding an insight and then taking direct action on it. It's totally hyper-focused on one of the most data-heavy, chaotic parts of any business, customer service, and it's built from the ground up to automate.
The way it works is just smart. First, it connects to the places your knowledge and data already live. You know, your Zendesk, your Confluence, your Google Docs. Then, step 2, it analyzes all that data, learning from all of your team's past conversations. But the third step, automate, that's the magic. It doesn't just give you a report and say, good luck. No, it actually starts drafting replies, handling common requests, and sorting tickets for you.
And here's why it crushed it on those other criteria. It is truly self-serve. That means you can be up and running in minutes, no salesperson required. It's got this amazing simulation mode that lets you calculate your exact ROI on your own data before you even turn it on. And the pricing is just a simple, flat rate, so you don't get punished for being successful.
So, you might be asking, what's the catch? Well, its only con is actually its greatest strength. It's specialized. It is laser-focused on customer support and internal knowledge. You're not going to use this thing to analyze your financial data, but for the job it's built to do, that focus makes it unbelievably powerful.
So, what's the big takeaway from this whole review? When you boil it all down, it's this. In 2025, the best tools are no longer just about looking at charts. They're about putting your data to work.
So if you're out there looking for a tool for your team, remember these pro tips. First, always start with the problem, not the shiny new tool. Second, prioritize platforms that help you take action, not just look at data. And finally, don't forget about all that messy, unstructured data, your support tickets, reviews, and docs. That's where the real gold is hiding.
At the end of the day, this is the question you have to ask yourself. Are you ready to stop just staring at your data and actually start turning those incredible insights into real, measurable outcomes? You know, things like faster response times and genuinely happier customers.
If the answer is yes, then the recommendation from this whole showdown is crystal clear. You can go try the #1 ranked tool, Easel AI, for free. You can connect your data and see for yourself how it can start putting your most valuable asset, your customer knowledge, to work in just a few minutes.